I said, be sure to sign up. This your host, Poemoe, and tonight's broadcast is called Fuck the World. You know what I'm saying? Or Fuck This World. Spawned on by the current events that's been taking place. Well, the reason I use the title, Fuck the World, because we're going to, I'm gonna break it down to you from another perspective and why I use the word, the title Fuck the World for tonight's show. And this is done in three parts. You know, you have the what they call it. You got the okay, how they do it is three parts, and you have the brain, and you have the mind, and you have the body, and what they call the thinking mind or the thinking brain. So it's in three parts. So if you have, you got the knower, the doer, and the thinker. Or I say the doer, the thinker, and the knower. So I break it down in three parts when I say fuck this world, because when they look at it, they at least look at it, you know, you see fuck this world. So they know it don't pertain to the doer, you know, because it's saying obviously fuck this world, so it ain't got nothing to do with the actual reality of what's going on now, as far as Black Power, revolution, anything like that. That's what they may be thinking. And then so they say, okay, well, if it don't mean to do it mean to think it. And then they looked at the words I used, which is fuck this world, and they say it can't be the thinker, because he'll surely think of something better to say than that shit. So then they say, oh, fuck. He's saying fuck this world. So they look at the total schematic of the words I'm using, meaning fuck this world. So what they're thinking is he's not talking about neither one of the areas we control. He's talking about the fact that of the knower. That means he's not even, he's saying fuck this whole system, this whole way of thinking, this whole reality that they made for us, this whole synthetic way of thinking. So now that's what they worry about. So now let's go back to the title, Fuck the World. So you got the doer, the thinker, and the knower. And what they have done now is to, they mastered under the Mind Control Act a long time ago, the doer and the thinker. And in that, you're not able to make it to the knower, which is what they call God body, or the divine connection, or under the constant records, you know, connected to the Most High, the ability to spin in synchronicity, meaning is that you are synchronized, or supreme revelations, or whatever you say shall come to pass. So by saying that, having us locked in the between the doer and the thinker, and having mastered that, which we call MK Ultra Mind Control, they have tampered with our cause. You know, we can't. The knower is sitting back thinking like, how can I manifest myself into the earth? He said, I can only get so far into the human body before they have mastered genetically the thinker and the doer, meaning is, you know, what he thinks and what he does. So the Most High, or the ancient, or the ancestors is trying to communicate with you, but they're having a hard time getting past that static, that disruption between what you think and what you do. You see what I'm saying? It's supposed to be a direct line from what you do, what you think, to what you know. And knowing, like I said in the last broadcast about memory wipe, is that they have, first of all, they wiped our memories, which is our wisdom, which is the things we've been through in life, which has been genetically embedded in us through eons and eons in time to what we are today, like I said in the last broadcast. And by doing that, you have no experience. And by you having no experience is that you really, well, let me back it up a little bit. Let's go back to cloning. Okay, if you take a clone, the way they make clones now, the difference is a human and a clone is that a human have a soul, which is memory, which is experiences, which is a DNA trace or you know, from eons in time of what he's been through and what he's witnessed. And a clone don't. It's instantly made, just like that, right then and there. So it doesn't have a soul, which is your experiences, which is your memory. That's considered your soul. It doesn't have a soul. So by it not having a soul, it don't have an allegiance to anything. Whatever is brought forth, whoever it handles it, it's going to do what it's told to do. It's going to act as it's told to act. So they are breeding those as we speak now, those types. But the way they're doing it now is on top of lab, they got to have a person that, to play them type of entities or people into society. They got to figure out how to give it a mother and a father. So those type of people be placed in adoptions. And hopefully they can have a mother and a father, so they just won't be in this world. And you be like, where they come from? Someone raises them, and then they go home and have kids, which is another clone, a spinoff of another clone, and a spinoff of another clone. So you'll find a lot of these in adoptions. But for the people that's here now, they what I call external cloning, meaning is GMO, Santos, foods with no seeds, meaning there's no memory, no history. You can't communicate with the earth and shit on TV and the stuff on the radio and external experiences, which disrupting the doer and the thinker. So he'll never make it to the Noah, which is the God body of the God in man, or the queenhood. You see what I'm saying? The ability to know without thinking, the ability to be able to trust your instinct. You know what I'm saying? They threw the instinct off. So you don't trust the instinct, which is the Noah, because you kind of trust your instinct here and there that you've been proven you wrong. That's because they disrupted the area right there. And the way they did it through external forces. And they have two ways. And one is external forces, and the primary way is actually laboratory type cloning people, like, in that way. And Brad, do you want to add on anything before I go into the next segment of or you got any questions about what I'm saying before I continue? Brian, you there? I must have lost him. Let me make sure I'm on call. Anybody got any questions they want to ask before I continue on? Just want a mic check. All right, let's go. So, like I was saying, now, fuck this world. So, I brought it to y'all that way because I tried to take it from backwards to forward, just to give you an idea of what I mean when I said fuck this world. It's similar to be in this world, but not of this world. And we're coming into a time where we have to literally, like actually ask ourselves, do we want to still indulge in this reality? Do we want to still indulge with this matrix that's set up and designed for us to fail? Or do we want to try to produce our own reality, which is actually, something we create, something we think a way, or just by speaking to each other every day, just by kindly, gradually being cordial with each other, we can create a whole new reality, outside of this bullshit that's going on. Because evidently the way we going, ain't none of this shit really working. You know what I'm saying? And we're in the times that the earth and the universe has shifted, and it's shifted towards gravitating towards the Noah. And what I have done, or what I have been trying to teach myself and other people to do, is skip straight from the thinking part and come from the Noah to the doer. Don't even go to the thinking, because they shattered that aspect already. They mastered that when they made MK Ultra, and they have test dummies out here, and the shootings that you see going on. These are MK Ultra candidates. They've been did that shit a long time ago. They're just putting the project into reality and testing it. And if y'all think I'm talking crazy, these white people, man, ain't no telling what the fuck. I mean, come on now, we can't put shit past them, trust me. And science is always 10 or 20 years ahead of our knowability, meaning the fact that we know what the fuck going on. But right now they gave us iPhones, they got something else 20 years already in the making, and figuring out how to spoon feed it to us throughout time. But right now, they're test running these motherfuckers, because a lot of this shit don't make no sense. You know what I'm saying? The shootings that's going on, just lately talking about, you got a gun, you don't got a gun, I'm gonna blow your head off. I don't even think these motherfuckers, police, really know what they doing. And from partially the way they being shocked after they do the shit, and then the other half of the shit they do is so fucking outrageous. I mean, it's like we in two different worlds. How these motherfuckers go home and eat Cocoa Pebbles and they after doing some crazy shit like this, and makes me wonder, are they MK Ultra candidates? You know what I'm saying? How they disrupted the Noah and the thinking, and they're easy. They're easy. They're as close to clone as we can get. They want to master the black man. They want to be able to tap into the Noah, which is the God, which is the ability to create a being that has no soul. That's easy for them to control. You know what I'm saying? Once you keep creating on top of creating these what I call the doer and the think an aspect, it flips over itself and it creates its own thing. So now we have in that reality is when we see what I call Sahu, these heartless shorties out here killing motherfuckers, or these niggas out here killing each other, and these police, I think they're being used to egg on a race war. Now the question becomes, do you feed into the race war, or do you sit back? You know what I'm saying? Because it's not natural. It's not nothing we egged on. They egged this shit on. And just to add something to homosexuality, it's the process of when they impregnate the embryo or the egg. All they did was switch it around. So what they're doing is tampering with that. They're switching the shit around. So it's the same process. They just switch the opposite poles. They put the egg on this side and the sperm on that side. And then now you got the slight tendency for men to come out liking a man, a woman to come out wanting to be a man or liking a woman. Anybody got any questions? Brian, you got anything you want to say? Add on before I continue on?
Well, like what you were saying about they know what's in the future. See, when they burned the library down at Alexander, they had two books. They had a book that told the future and a book that told the past. And so if you think of the movie Back to the Future, you know, in the 9/11 implication. So yeah, they got a machine. I think that a new machine is in CERN now, but the machine can almost predict the event. You know, like 3-4 minutes of event that this computer can predict. I've even further than that, but that's what they're releasing. That this computer probabilities, and you know the movies where they had them people laying in their the crime prediction thing. Remember the crime prediction show? Like
Captain America. They show you that in Captain America that they was able to do that, and a lot of these people that's getting killed, I really believe that they know that these men gonna have the seeds of the Messiah, or they are the Messiahs, where they randomly looking for the sons and daughters of God, and they lost sight of how they look. So now the agenda, they panicking because they got signs and symbols that they see that we'll never see or they'll never tell us. And they know when the children of God is on the rise. And now they got to get ruthless. So they send them hunters out here. Caesar sent his hunters out here to hunt. And it's like the time of Moses when the Pharaoh was hunting for Moses' ass. And now we right now on the water floating down the river. He don't even know we in the same house with him. He done lost track. He don't even know how the fuck we look. So right, he just killing randomly, hoping he hit her roof. Hoping he hit our set, hoping. Randomly, he just killing. He don't know he lost track. J. Edgar Hoover, they look at the Malcolm Muslims. They looking for stuff like that. They looking for Malcolm, but they seeing the signs that he's here or she's here, but they can't quite figure out who. It ain't T. Jakes. It ain't Farrakhan. They like, well, but he's somewhere. So where is he? How do he look in these days? He don't have a bow tie on. He don't got a Bible. He's not on the corner where a soapbox preaching to the people. So they don't even fucking know. And if they, like I always say, if they're listening in on any of these conversations and shit we talk about, they have no idea of what we mean. And if they do have an idea, they'll wind up learning that they're fucking programs too. And that's a very sad feeling to realize through watching another nigga trying to pop him off about who the fuck he really is. But anything else you want to say, B, to add on to that?
I mean, what you said, and I've been thinking about this all day. They seem more desperate now than they've ever seen.
Yes, they are.
I mean, they are super desperate and they are super scared. I mean, it's like we were saying with the tactics. You know, the thing we seen with the KKK. You know, this is a simplistic attack and message that they've just done, and so they seem super desperate. Super desperate. And what you just said, if you think about the kids they went after. Because think about it, if they was like, this kid is that. And you know how they got that's an eye in the sky, a person of interest. Those kind of programs are out there running, and they saying this kid might be it. So they create a condition. You know, they create a condition where they kill even these kids. Because if that computer's spitting out, he might be it. Because if that think about the energy, think about like the energy, because what's coming and what you're talking about is the golden child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So think about the energy that this child would have. So they would even be fearing this even a few years before the child came, but they would be really fearing it. And if the machine is printing out, trying to see who this melanated child is, and maybe that can show why they're so desperate. And your point that I really never thought of is why are they going after young? You know, why is it the young? You know, that they've never really kind of messed with young, but other than in the kill, but I mean overall, just different cases of young. So
because they know it's the birth. See, they lost track of time. They fell asleep themselves. Remember they said in the Bible passage, Jesus was in the tomb and the gods was at the tomb, which was a Masonic and a Boule God in the tomb, but the tomb, the stone had been rolled away. And when they turned around, Jesus was gone. That's what that meant. It meant that shit, the motherfuckers got so comfortable, the Boule got so comfortable, they gave Jigga so much money, the police got so comfortable that when the Caesar, which is the supreme elite white man, come out and say, wait a minute, them niggas, what the fuck going on? This machine is going crazy. They like, throwing the chicken wings down the churches and tying up their shoes and coming up out the pussy like, oh shit, wait, what are you talking, wait? And they turn around and chase to see if they still knew where Jesus was at, but he was gone. And what I mean is they lost sight of how he looked. They lost sight of how he talked. They lost sight of how it would be. So now they lost. So he's like, nah, fuck that, get them. They like, but we don't know. He's like, nah, y'all kicking it, y'all partying, y'all fell asleep, y'all got too comfortable. I told you the time was coming, find them by any means necessary. So now they got to construct a way to find them. And it's called boutique police brutality. And they say, okay, we need to keep doing this shit until they become comfortable. Meaning is the more we repeat the murders, the more the people will fall asleep, the more they get comfortable with it, the more it become normal. Now, if we accept this shit as normal, we have went insane. Real talk. Real talk. It could be any one of us. And they're getting closer because at first they was killing Saul. They said, no, it ain't really Saul. I mean, shit. We running out of Saul. He dead and locked up. So who is it? It might be the working man. It might be the brother that they killed that worked with the kids, been 30-something years old. That ain't never got shit on this record. They getting close. That's who they want to keep. That's what we gonna start going after now. The average working citizen or the average brother. He ain't even got to be a hoodlum no more because we don't even fucking know who he is. So we going after all of them. And at the same time, if we can't kill the kids in plain sight, meaning the babies, like that baby was in the car, let's traumatize the shit out of them. There you go, external cloning. So if we can just traumatize the shit out of them, let's do this real quick because we don't know which is the girl. Well, I know it ain't her right now. Well, it might be the man, but he dead. But it's just in case it's the baby. Let's put him in the back seat, lock his mom up, and have him traumatized that way. Keep the shit going. Keep it going. So now here we is when I said the thinking, the knower, the doer, and the thinker. And what they were trying to do with that little boy is disrupt his doing. No, they was trying to disrupt his knower. That's the first thing they come at, the God connection, the knower. The one that know how to do without thinking. The one that's connected straight from the knower to the doer. That's where we trying to go, and that's what they try to disrupt to him. So right there, they kind of wiped that out because the little boy thought God, but when he seen this happen to his family and his daddy, to him it looked like Jesus just killed his daddy. Because I bet you still in the churches that the young man go to, they still got the white Jesus hanging up there. So now him thinking Jesus has killed his daddy makes him hate God and makes him disconnect himself from spirituality. The only reason we all black people go to church is because we're birthed in life to search for our spiritual self. And they have found the pinnacle or the top to cap that with church and religion. Cap that shit off. This is as far as it's going to go. As long as we hold the control over the religion aspect, we hold control over their spirituality, they'll never tap into their knower. They'll always be the doer and the thinker. And where they get you in the thinkers at is in school. That's the thing. The college people, how a lot of brothers, they halfway there, but they hollow as hell, they shallow as hell, and they're tapped into that thinking and that doing. That's where they get you at school and shit like education and anything of that sort of matter. It was where they program you at. Anybody want to ask any questions, any concern before we go on? Going once, going twice. And the reason they both say,
I will.
Go ahead.
See, you get into knowing you have your own authority, and that's really what it is. You see the God himself. You see the God himself, and so, like you said, they want to disconnect people. They want people to look for that that's within, without, outside.
Outside.
People, outside of what you really are. Of all that energy in you, man, it'll teach people there's planets inside of you. What do you think your chakras really are? These are basically planets inside of you. And you get all that going. You get all that going because you have to have your chakras going so you can get in prana. I mean, that's the way you breathe in prana. You get out your chakras getting going, you breathe in prana. And this is not even taught. This is almost frowned upon, to teach that kind of knowledge. But as you said, the brothers is waking up, and something you hit on the head earlier. I did the same thing because I go in, I have to. We call it the hood ex. I have to go there because that's where my ex-wife lives, and they're dropping off my kids. But one thing I always do, one thing I've always done is even when I lived over there, I always got the little knockoff clothes because I wanted to support the brothers. You know?
Right.
And I remember my daughter, you know, when I was leaving, I was like, okay, brothers, I'll see you later. And it was exactly what you said. That's exactly what I said. So I was like, all right, brothers, I'll see you later. And my daughter looked at me, she's like, those your brothers, Dad? I was like, yeah. Because we're melanated, we're brothers automatically. Just because we're melanated. We are brothers. That's how everybody, we are called soul brothers.
Soul brothers, souls.
I mean, soul brothers. That's what we are called. So that's what we call really each other's brothers.
Your soul is your memory. So, brother, do you remember who you is? I said it's governed over the memory. She is control. That's why they said she got the 13 pieces and try to put them back together to remember, to put the shattered pieces of the black man back together. And the whole thing is, Set fucked that up. He took that memory out and put his own shit in there. And now you got what you see today, Young Thug memory. That's Set memory. That ain't even our memory. And to piggyback off what Brian was saying is that you want to get. I'm gonna give you an example, and I'm not trying to be racist, but if you want to know an example, what I mean, the thinker and just the doer is the Hispanic brother. And I know y'all said they kind of far away from God is that I can see, and the white man is just he ain't even got God in him. So, as far as you want to, I know y'all live around it, but if you want to see how it is, they more of the thinker and the doer. They more that Noah been kind of way gone. You know, they don't really do church. They don't really, you know, a lot of races that don't do spirituality, like white people and Hispanics, they don't do churches because they're more into the thinker and the doer. You know, that memory, they don't have a memory bank like we do. They don't have that soul. They don't have that connection, the ether. They don't have that spiritual essence that we do. And we have, like Dude said, we are magical, is what he called it, magical. And but we have certain powers that they have witnessed and they have seen on the low, but they keep it quiet. They're not gonna broadcast it, but we do it on accident. You know what I'm saying? Anything you want to add on to that, B?
Yeah, it's that's really trying to cap. They really, like we've always been saying, is opening up people's third eye and calcifying it. And you know, even me and the people that get it open, all the drugs and the immunizations and the food to just block all the spirituality. I mean, that we are still able to have that and talk about it and share this is something that we should be really proud of, because there's so much fighting this. There's so much fighting this and trying to stop this and not make you become who, like you said, become who you are. I mean, what do I always say? To how to power up. You know, that's all of us to power up.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you're right, and that's a sad thing, but it's true because it's possible. And you don't think that the universal Father creates something or creates us in a way that they can actually put a cap on us. It's the fact that people say, "Well, I am spiritual. You know, I am been practicing like this, and I am been doing this, and I am been meditating." What's the problem? I really don't see no effect. You gotta understand it's gonna take time because they have externally cloned you. They have externally, they couldn't go to the lab because you was already here. So they gave you the same aspects of cloning while you actually are, living, actually are aging through external forces, external events, external situations, things that lead you to think a whole certain way, things that lead you what they call to doubt, things that lead your blood not to pump the right way or go more towards the positive thinking or the knowing, and it keeps you in the doing and the thinking. Most so in the doing, meaning automatic response, meaning I'm not even thinking about the shit I'm doing. I'm just actually responding. And that's how they got a lot of our people today. And they playing little games because they're cutting off the thinking now. At first, they was the thinking and the knowing, and that created Malcolm X. That created Martin Luther King. And they said, oh, shit. So then they mastered that shit. And now they got them, boom. Now we just got the brothers. They separated. Now we just got the brothers not even thinking. They just doing an automatic response. While we're acting like that, they're trying to cut off the knower altogether. So when Willie Lynch was speaking in the Willie Lynch papers and he was talking about killing the slaves and how to control the slaves, he was basically telling you that he said one thing important, that if we can extinguish the light altogether, then we won't have shit to worry about the absolute twirl on its own. And why would he say that way back then, the light? What he mean, the light is the knower, the connection to God himself. If we can extinguish that part, and it's way back in the 1800s, then we can just sit back and chill and they'll kill themselves. and it would go on for eons of time or whenever, however. But right now we're getting into that. So at this moment they have come close. It's not possible because they're trying to tap into the God gene. They're trying to see God himself. That ain't gonna happen. But they're trying to come as close as possible. Close as possible. That means once God is gone, we don't even think it might be coming close, but we don't even think in this fashion no more. We, like brothers like you, sisters, everybody else on the line, we wouldn't even be talking like this or thinking like this. And what I mean by that is this type of conversation would rarely, close to never be heard. Never be heard. And they got a 10-year plan on expecting that in this time, that's how they want it. And that's how they're going to have it. They're going to have it to where these children don't even got the slightest clue about God. Not even a thought in their fucking mind. Therefore, they have no allegiance to nothing. And if they have no allegiance to nothing, they're clones. They have no memory. They have no soul. They have no way to connect about, like, why we lean towards spirituality is because our memories or the memory bank or the experiences that have been embedded into our DNA over time, eons and eons of time. That's what brought us to who we is today. But if you cut that off, then you got a new being. I mean, actually, new being, brand new. If he's 10, he's only 10 years old on this earth. We might be 25, 10, but we 10 plus 30,000, 40 billion, 3 million, shit like that. Well, but this motherfucker right here, only 5 years old. That means he's like the first time humans was made. He's new to the earth. Brand motherfucking new. Now imagine that. And then you start with the new program and then plant this new program on him. Then in time, maybe 100 years from now, you got something up with a fucking zombie. That's why they making these damn shows. You got something that where we can look back and say, damn, the black man had never been like this. He's like a white man. He's literally white. It's not even black or white no more. Brian, you want to add anything else? Anybody got any questions? I thought we might have the queen on here. No? Do you guys
I got a question real quick. I got a question.
All right, Jerry, who this? Yeah, I hear you. Go ahead.
It's Chris in Houston, man. So my question is, I'm good, man. How y'all brothers doing today?
You love me. Go ahead.
Glad to hear from you. Glad you called. All right, man. Glad to be on the call tonight. My question, you guys talk about the disconnect. So my thing would be as far as, how everybody moving around, disconnects with when it comes to how some of these younger brothers actors with the shooting. Some people just like, they're not, it's really not a reaction to it. It's the same old. I say it's not a reaction because it's the same thing that's been going on for year in, year out, day in, day out. So it's really not a reaction to it. So my thing is, why would they try to stir that up to try to wake something up, wake something or somebody up? Why would they try to do that?
Well, I'm gonna answer a little bit of it, but I'm gonna let Brian answer the rest. Now, their plan is their plan is just like they're gambling. On one hand, they know it's a possibility that this can go a total different way. That these brothers can start turning within and looking inside themselves and wake up to Heru and the God body and the goddesses in themselves and start doing, shit that they already got records of. On the other hand, they're trying to gain more control. If they know we finna wake up, they're trying to give us a reality where we submit to more control. So now when the police pull you over, a brother gonna be scared than a motherfucker. So now they got supreme control. Now he gonna do whatever the police say. So if the police say get out the car, he getting out the car. The police say, fuck the Constitution rights, fuck it, why you pull me over? Fuck the questions we ask now. It's a more form of control. And on top of that, they're numbing us down to where they need to keep killing us to find us the daughters and sons of God. You know what I'm saying? So they need to keep being able to kill us like they want. And so by keep repeatedly doing this, they're numbing us to it. So pretty soon, if we don't do anything now, they'll show a couple of BET awards. They'll come out with the new Jordans. It'll be 5 or 6 police that killed 7 to 8, 10, 20 brothers, and we'll still go out, kick it, watch TV, and it won't be shit. It's just like now, back in the day, if a brother killed a brother, it was fucked up. We was like, God damn, that little man died. Now, you see how numb you became to it? You see how numb we is to it now? The death of a black man killing a black man? That's how they try to do with the system and the police now. They try to make us numb to this basically martial law type shit. Or if they don't actually bring martial law, they're going to try to disguise it first. If they can't disguise it, after they disguise it, they're going to bring it in full. They try to make us understandable about it. Brad, you want to add anything to his question?
Well, yes. I mean, see, that's where their technology is starting to fade, because that's what they rely on. I mean, they cannot be spiritual. I mean, they don't have melanin, and because of that fact, they have to use technology to gain their leads. And so they're using all these technologies of suppression, especially for us. I mean, it grows and grows every day. But something, Poet said is what they're killing us is they kill the ability for one to spin. Ability to one to spin fast, to connect to the frequencies or the higher vibrations. They try to kill that. And
right.
That's what it's coming to is trickery. And I don't want to say, it's a fake magic. Okay? I guess that's the best way for me to say it, is their technology is a fake type of magic that they try to use. And as we've been saying all along, it's getting
wearing out. It's wearing out because of the polar shift, because of the frequency, the earth at a certain, when they showed you the age of a period, what's that zodiac, the 13th zodiac? They slipped that in and told you that the 13th zodiac is the sum total of all zodiacs, meaning it's the one, the Tony Fable, the ability to pop lock the spiritual into the physical, the ability to sit up under some crazy ass niggas and still be God body and wind up teaching them to do them their lower self and bringing them to their higher self. The one, Jackie Chain, the one. That's why he had to run around killing all them extra hymns. The more he killed, the more they absorbed it to him, the stronger he was. It's that type of method. So that's what we're going into now. And the reason that they're going hard is an attempt to stop this shit. That's all it is. It's an attempt to stop a fraud. Attempt to stop it. What I mean by fraud is they ain't gonna stop it, but it's gonna be looking like they actually succeeded. But they're not going to be able to stop it, because we out of those times where the brothers and sisters don't know we have gone into a new time. That's the catch, to trick you into figuring out what time when God, what they call God, will come back, or Jesus will come back. But it means that conscience, that spirit. There's not one Jesus. There's a lot of Jesuses. There's not one Heru. There's a lot of Herus. It's an energy dynamic. Just like y'all give me they Lil Wayne. Just like you see that one Lil Wayne, and then everybody got the dreads. Everybody went around here with these little tight ass skateboard shoes on and shit. That's how that energy dynamic is. And that energy dynamic is going to become popular. But it's finding a host to manifest in. It's finding these hosts to manifest in. You need someone whose chakras are lined up, whose DNA are lined up, whose memory is still intact at some point, and who's strong enough to handle this energy surge without going crazy, without being able, and I'm going to give you an example of what I mean by that, because they call them mental institution, mental patients. They're the ones that they test ran, the ether test ran, gave them a little bit of energy, but the energy was too powerful, meaning they didn't know how to handle it. They didn't know how to pop lock the knowledge to the brother. So the brother said, "You crazy as hell." And he said, "No, man, the sky is blue, and that little boy over there is green." And he's like, "You crazy as hell." But the one who can line it up say, "No, the sky is blue due to the reflection of the water. And when you look up there, you think it's blue, and that's an illusion, like they're playing on you." And at the same time, dude green is meaning he's a baby son of God, and the black man was green because of the melanin lead that was in his skin when the sun hit him so hard. He turned to, and shit like that. And you can put it to like the green color Jordans, neon Jordans you got on. Goddamn it, absorb the light in the daytime, and at night it shine. That's you. That's how we do. And okay, the brother can feel that. So that's the one that gives more and more energy to, more and more power, more and more juice to, because he can handle it. At first, they didn't understand that we can handle it. So that the result of that was what they call mad impatience. That's the ether God trying to come to earth, but they done fucked our Noah and our think of so bad. I mean, our doer and our think of so bad that we can't quite tap into the Noah. That's the Noah trying to push in. But the thinker and the doer, that frequency right there between your heart and your stomach chakra is fucked up in between that. So you can't say, "I want to do 1,000 push-ups." Think and then do it. So what I have done is skip the thinking part, because they shattered that shit and went straight from the Noah to the doer, meaning God and man. Nothing else in between. The ego sitting over there on the porch taking a sip of something, doing his own thing. Brian, you want to add on? Brother, my fault. Brother, you want to say something else? We ain't mean to, you know what I'm saying? We just try to make sure you get the full picture. If not,
I'm riding with you, brothers, and y'all keep rolling it out. I'm riding with it, taking it in.
Okay.
Well, what you just said, let me build upon that, because what you just said and the way the frequency works, is an enlightened person. And like you said, if they find that one person affects a million people. Now, love is like the second highest one. But that enlightened person, that person all in knowing, it's going to be a million people around him. And see, that's where the disciple comes from. It's because you're getting off so much energy. When the people get around you and get around your energy, it builds them. That's that true Joshua consciousness. That's that true Joshua energy that's just flowing. And when that energy just gets into you, like you said, that is not one being. That is being. That's that energy, as you said, that you can make you can make a community out of this kind of energy, where everybody is working on that. And that's really what, if you get back into what Mayat was, and connecting to that, and connecting, I mean, Mayat is more of a feminine energy, whereas Josh is more of a male energy. But I mean, they're both still combined, and you just connected.
No, we need. Hold on, Brian, before you go, you can keep going, but let me put this. We need both. They got us thinking negative is evil. No, it's just the concept that complements the positive. Yeah. The woman that's why the woman don't want to receive saying that she's the yin or the yang, the negative aspect of man, because they have made that means chill the fuck out and sit back. The other aspect, sit the fuck back, because I can move without moving. I'm the queen. I'm gonna move for this more peace on.